Heat, Pistons, Knicks, Magic. The Heat could potentially be one of those teams because they already have Jimmy Butler. And you got Pat Riley, who does a great job, I think, with the organization. You can put a package deal together to get him. And the Heat could definitely make some noise in the East because the East is wide open. Thank you, Mocha, for putting that in there. You're 100% right. The East is so wide open. The best team at this point in time is probably the Bucks. That's probably the best team. You have the Sixers. Toronto will not be the same. Toronto will not be the same. Okay? So you can probably count them out as being able to make some noise. So at this point, I think him going to the East would be great. And I'm picturing him to go to a team that was at the bottom of the playoff race. So like I said, Pistons, teams that made the playoffs or barely missed the playoffs. So Pistons, Magic made the playoffs. The Heat, the Knicks, they have assets, they have pieces. And to be honest, Westbrook seems like a guy who would want to go to the Knicks. Shout out to LaDonna. Thank you for tuning in. Who is eating that contract? You're right about that. Somebody's going to do it, though. Someone is going to be willing to eat that contract. I don't know who it is. Probably the Knicks. The Knicks do a very good job at doing such things like this. The West is more wide open. Clippers, Portland, Denver, Warriors, Jazz, Lakers, Houston. And phone lines are open. So if you got a quick couple of comments you want to give, 469-351-0881. Excuse my voice on today's show. Shout out to my Rapture Ready Radio peeps. If you want to send me a comment or note, BS3 Sports, all avenues of social media, BS3 Sports at outlook.com. And if you're tuning in the background, join in on the show chat room. It's 100% worth your time, 100% worth your while. I think you'll enjoy it. And your ears will be blessed with some quality podcasting. So, but Westbrook, man, you have to be upset. You have to be upset to see Paul George get traded. Danny Green, 2-year deal with the Lakers. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, another deal with the Lakers. What about the flying knee 5-second knockout? Ridiculous. I'll be getting to that in a minute. Mochis, 100%. We'll be getting to that in a minute. Dame Lillard was on the jump, and he said he believes player recruitment is more powerful than pitch meetings. I think he's 100% right. Prime example. Kawhi was talking to Paul George. We didn't even know it. He's talking to Paul George. They're meeting for lunch, and nobody knew it. You mean to tell me TMZ didn't know that? You mean to tell me Wojo wasn't out there, didn't know that? A lot of these people had no clue what was going on. And they did a great job keeping it under wraps. An amazing job. Superb. Give them some type of trophy for what they were able to accomplish with nobody knowing what was going on. So the Lakers re-signing a lot of players. Also, not to mention, Boogie signs to the Lakers. So you got Boogie reuniting with AD, LeBron, Rondo, Kuzma, Shout out to Kev. Clutch Talk Sports be coming on at 3 Central on Sports Radio America. A comment here by, who's that? My pops says, I blame OKC ownership for their demise. Paul George told Westbrook he was staying just like KD and left his back, behind his back. Last year, this same time, he was on the stage. Nas was at a concert. Like, they did a lot. I thought he was 100% going to stay. Big O said, will Cousins ever be 100% again? I would answer that question with no. But, here's the but part. He will be better than what he was last year. And if you can get improvement from what you had last year, if you can get a better boogie that can give you a double-double a game, you don't need him to do everything. But I think he is a rhythm player. I think he's a rhythm player. He needs to have the ball. He needs to have the ball often. So I do think, I don't think he's going to get 200%, but I do think he'll be better. It takes time with these injuries, especially with these Achilles. Especially with the Achilles injury, it takes time to get back, to get your body back in shape. Because he was out of shape too. You got to factor that in. So he's going to be better. If Cousins is even 90% of what he was, the Lakers will be a problem. The only ups Boogie has is the Lyft app on his phone. Nobody got a clown Boogie like that. There was a reason he got a veteran's contract. True. But again, you do not need him to be the Boogie of old. You just need him to be an above average Boogie. You don't need the best Boogie. You just need the above average Boogie. I think he's a good pickup. And the Lakers really did not let any of their players go besides the ones that they traded. And LeBron's going to be ready next year. LeBron had a break. LeBron had a playoff break that he hadn't had in 10 years. So he'll be back and ready. Zion over the weekend injures his knee, where he bruised it, and he ripped the ball out of Kevin Knox's hands like he was Debo. He Debo'd the ball out of Kevin Knox's hands as if he wasn't even there. Number one, that's embarrassing. Number two, that shows you how strong Zion is. But he will not be playing any more games in the Summer League. My only fear, which I mentioned this to my pops this weekend, my only fear with Zion is that he ends up being a Blake Griffin, dunking all over people, doing a great job in that department. Having a mid-range game, possibly, and that's it. But I do think he'll be better than that. I do think he'll be better than that. Shout out to Jennifer Pettit in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Corver might be the final piece, says Mo Cheese. Lakers fans out there, is Melo going to sign with the Lakers? Also, Jamal Crawford's out there. If you can get Jamal Crawford on this team, your six-man spot is lined up. You don't even have to worry about it. That would be my number one. Kyle Korver's washed up. Okay, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care about Kyle Korver anymore. Where was he at during the playoffs? When you needed a three, where was he at? He was missing threes. So Kyle Korver, if I was the Lakers, I would tell him you can go to a different team, but not here. Quinn Cook was a good move too. I agree with you there. And you got a sharpshooter in Danny Green, so why do you need Kyle Korver? And Bill, to answer your question, yes, I think he will come off the bench. Especially with this team. With this team, if you want to get a chip, this would be one of your best opportunities to do it. Durant changes his number to number 7. He gave a detailed post talking about 35. But number 35 is done for him. And then number 7 going into the future. Will he actually play this year is a huge question, which I don't think he is. The Lakers are picking up all of the Warriors' rejects. What does that say about that organization? Some NBA players' pride gets in the way, says Big L. I am all in on the Lakers getting Melo. And here's a question I want to put. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Where do you guys think Westbrook is going? Put that in the chat room. Earlier today, OKC traded Jeremy Grant to the Denver Nuggets. Doesn't really look like a very exciting move. But the Denver Nuggets send them a 2020 first-round pick. So that means they've acquired 6 first-round picks in the last week. Actually, 6 first-round picks in the last 3 days. That's pretty amazing. The question is, what do you do with those picks? There was a rumor going around, maybe Bradley Beal gets traded in a deal to OKC. OKC is becoming like a black hole. OKC is becoming like a dungeon. It's becoming like the black hole in the NBA right now. And I'm not putting this all on Russ. He is the only one that's there, but this organization has been failing. You trade Paul George, and I'm pretty sure they didn't tell Russ that they were going to trade Paul George. They had a below-average coach in Scott, what was that guy's name? Scott Myers or Mike Scott or whatever his name was. Donnelly is not a good coach. He's not an NBA coach. I don't care what anybody says. You can try to prove me wrong if you want, and I'll listen to it, but then I'm not listening. Okay? Russ is gone. Westbrook to New York would be nice. We need him in the Eastern Conference. I think it would be great for basketball. I think he would be great in New York. I think he can handle it. And I think we need some more parity. You see how stacked the Western Conference is. You see how stacked California is, period. Just got an update. Kawhi tried to recruit Kyrie to the Clippers. Okay. Did not know that. Did not know that. Thank you for dropping that nugget. Bleacher Report, correct. Leonard contacted Kyrie to join forces before the Clippers traded for George. Kyrie putting on his GM hat in the background. Like I said, it's the quiet ones. And I'm one of the quiet ones. So I understand. Quiet ones are sneaky. It's 100% correct. Also, Kawhi wanted Bradley Beal. He wanted to partner up. So I think we're definitely seeing that right now. OKC is like Ben BS3 boss looking at the clock. It's time to get back to work. Hashtag maybe. Yeah, OKC's GM has got a lot of answering to do to Westbrook. Especially if Westbrook did not know that the deal was going down, which he probably didn't know, and he probably found out, like everybody else found out, Wojo or on Twitter. Maybe Paul George sent him a text. I don't know. But the interesting part about this is Westbrook has said he still has love for Paul George. which I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to see a post of him being